Hi everyone, Chris Rappold here, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to you about something that happens to all of us, and it's not something that's talked about an awful lot, but I wanted to kind of take the time to share it because it occurred to me, you know what, I've learned the lesson over and over and over again, and I still need the reminder. So, I'm hoping maybe the video will hit when, right at that perfect time for you, or maybe something might come up and you'll remember it. And the subject is, how do you deal with an injury? And as athletes, we're always taught to push ourselves. And the idea of no pain, no gain, and sweating and doing all of that, a lot of times that comes natural. But when all of a sudden the physical therapist or the orthopedic surgeon or whoever says, you know what you need to do is nothing for the next 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 12 weeks. For an athlete, for a martial artist that's a practicing martial artist that trains every day, that can be a mind melt. Now, I want to give credit to my dear friend, Coach Kevin Kearns, because he really, I knew this, but he just reminded me about it in a great way. And Coach Kearns was training me for, he trained me for I think it was the 2009 and 2011 World Championships. And, I was training in his basement at the time, a couple mornings a week. And I remember, there'll be that time that, in practice I kind of strained my hamstring a little bit. In the workout, to get to his house, I'd have to leave at like 4:30 in the morning, drive in the dark, and we started at 5 a.m. And I'd text him the night before, or I'd call him, my hamstring's sore. I think I'm probably going to skip on the workout today. And he would always, it was kind of funny, it almost got to be a joke. He would just say, okay, just come on, and no worries, we just won't use that hamstring. And in my mind, to be honest with you, I was kind of like, because I was already thinking about, I get to sleep in a little bit tomorrow. And then it would be a situation of, I kind of hurt my hand. And, okay, that's okay, we just won't use that hand. I'll see you at 5 tomorrow morning. And it happened enough over a period of, a couple of years training with him where I just knew what it was going to be. But it taught a very valuable lesson, and that is, how many times do we just, this is hurt, that is hurt, the other thing is hurt, so I can't do anything. Now the reason I'm bringing this up is, I just had wrist surgery. And I tore in practice, jiu-jitsu practice. I had my thumb bent back and it tore the ligament. So it had to be repaired on this hand. And, so immediately my mind went to, okay, well, what is it that I'm going to do? What is it that I can do? So I reached out to one of my mentors, Hanshi Dave Kovar. I said, okay, this is what's happening. What would you do? And, he said, I'd really make sure that I'm eating super clean, really start to, hone in and practice a lot of things that, on your left side to be able to do that. And of course, he kind of comes from that mindset as well. And, I'm happy to say I really haven't missed a training day as a result of this. Have I had to train differently? Absolutely, but it hasn't been I just can't do anything. It's know your limits, listen to the physical therapist and what they're saying, but, just because you have a pain over here, okay, that's 5% of your body. What about the other 95%? So if you're dealing with an injury, you have something coming up, think about that. Does it have to be so debilitating that you cannot do anything? Or are there plenty of things that you can do? In my case, I've worked more on my legs, more on my kicking, more on my cardio, more on my core than I normally would have, because I haven't really had the use of this, and it's been absolutely fine. So think about it. If you're dealing with an injury and you have to give it some time, know that you don't have to throw in the towel on everything. If you have a friend or a family member, hey, maybe give them the idea. Sometimes it's those simple little tips that make the biggest difference. So if you have to deal with an injury, I hope this conversation helps you, and I look forward to seeing you soon.